The fish didn't just fall. In that single, chaotic moment at a crowded fish market, two carefully guarded public images cracked open, and millions of fans felt their hearts skip a beat. Kai, Tan Songyun. Together. Unfiltered. Unscripted. And nothing has felt the same since. No stage lights. No luxury cars. No warning. Just the raw sound of a busy fish market. Voices bargaining, water splashing on concrete, plastic bags rustling in hurried hands. And then, two faces the entire entertainment world knows by heart. Kai, Tan Songyun. Not dressed for cameras. Not protected by assistants. Not prepared for what was about to happen. They weren't filming. They weren't promoting. They were simply there, standing shoulder to shoulder in one of the most ordinary places imaginable. That alone should not have been shocking. But in the world of celebrity culture, ordinary is dangerous. Eyewitnesses say they arrived together, walked together, browsed together. Tan Songyun moved ahead, holding several plastic bags filled with fresh fish and seafood. Her look was simple, almost vulnerable, a far cry from red carpets and flawless lighting. Kai followed closely behind, quiet, observant, his cap pulled low, but his presence unmistakable. For nearly 20 minutes, nothing dramatic happened. And yet, everything was already happening. Because comfort like that, ease like that, doesn't come from coincidence. And then, fate intervened. It happened in seconds. A small misstep. A loss of balance. A grip loosened. Tan Songyun stumbled. The plastic bag slipped from her hands. Fish spilled onto the wet pavement, sliding in different directions. The market froze. And in that split second, Kai moved. Not cautiously, not after thinking. Instinctively. He reached forward, steadying her before she could fall. Then, without hesitation, he crouched down, gathering fish from the ground, shielding her body as people began to recognize them. This wasn't rehearsed concern. This wasn't polite industry behavior. This was automatic. Fans noticed everything. The angle of his body, the way he positioned himself slightly in front of her, the speed of his reaction. It was the kind of response you don't plan. The kind that comes from familiarity, from care, from something deeper than colleagues caught in an awkward situation. Phones came out. Videos began recording. And just like that, a private moment slipped into the public eye. The fish market exploded. And so did the internet. Once the footage escaped into the digital world, it stopped being just a video. It became an emotional battlefield. Across timelines and comment sections, fans didn't simply watch. They felt. Every second of the clip was slowed down, paused, magnified. Fans traced Tan Songyun's steps frame by frame. They analyzed the exact moment her balance shifted. They zoomed in on Kai's face, searching for instinct, for panic, for care. And what unsettled people most was not what they saw, but what they recognized. This didn't look staged. It didn't feel accidental. The way Kai moved wasn't cautious or polite. It was fast, reflexive, almost protective. The way Tan Songyun didn't flinch away, didn't freeze, didn't panic, suggested trust. And trust is not built in minutes. Online, the fandom fractured into emotions rather than opinions. Some fans felt joy, the kind that comes from finally seeing idols live like real people. Others felt betrayal, wondering if honesty had been quietly replaced by carefully managed distance. And then there were those who felt grief without knowing why. Because when idols deny something for years, and reality suddenly whispers otherwise, fans are left standing between belief and doubt. What made this moment unbearable was its simplicity. No scandalous gesture, no public confession, just a fall, and a hand that moved too quickly to ignore. As the emotional storm grew louder, management teams finally spoke. But their words felt hollow. They explained that both actors enjoy visiting local markets. To stay grounded, to experience everyday life away from cameras. A harmless explanation. Yet the core question remained untouched. Why together? In a world where celebrity schedules are guarded with military precision, coincidence is rarely convincing. The statements avoided labels, avoided timelines, avoided connection, and that avoidance spoke volumes. Because in fandom culture, silence is never neutral. Witness accounts soon filled the gaps left by official words. A fish vendor recalled seeing them laugh quietly while browsing. A passerby described how Shu Kai instinctively stayed half a step behind Tan Songyun. Not distant, not controlling, just present. One detail struck fans deeply. They weren't behaving like people afraid of being seen. They were behaving like people who forgot, for a moment, that they could be seen. And that moment of forgetting changed everything. It reframed years of rumors. It reignited old questions. And it forced fans to confront a painful truth. Sometimes, idols don't lie. They simply don't tell the whole story. Days passed, but the feeling didn't fade. Because this wasn't a scandal fueled by words. It was a story fueled by instinct. The scattered fish became a symbol of chaos breaking through control, of reality interrupting performance. Fans laughed at memes, shared edits, saved screenshots. But beneath the humor lived something quieter. Longing to see idols exist without scripts, without denial, without distance. Shu Kai and Tan Songyun may never explain that day. They may never define what they are to each other. But they don't need to. Because in that fish market, for just a few unguarded seconds, they showed the world something rare. What happens when fame slips, and humanity steps forward? If this story made your chest feel heavy, or your heart feel strangely warm, that reaction is valid. Because sometimes, the moments that change us most aren't loud confessions or dramatic reveals. They are quiet instincts, caught by accident, and shared with millions who never expected to feel so much from something so simple.